place on earth where million-dollar cars move like everyday traffic. You don't need a ticket, and you don't need an invitation. You simply step outside, and within minutes, you're surrounded by Bugattis, Paganis, and Ferraris as if it's completely normal. That place is Monaco. And its streets have quietly turned into the most insane supercar show in the world. What makes this even more fascinating is that none of it is officially organized. There is no schedule, no event planning, and no controlled environment. Yet somehow, it feels more intense than any car show ever created. That's because in Monaco, nothing is staged. Everything is real, and everything is happening live. The country itself is incredibly small, covering just over 2 square kilometers. But within that space exists one of the highest concentrations of wealth anywhere on Earth. Millionaires, billionaires, celebrities, and elite collectors all live within minutes of each other, and when wealth is compressed like this, it becomes impossible to hide. In most cities, luxury stays behind closed doors. Expensive cars are stored in private garages and only brought out occasionally. But Monaco operates differently. Here, visibility is part of the culture. People don't hide their cars. They drive them, and they drive them often. You might see a Bugatti Chiron glide past at low speed, followed closely by a Lamborghini Aventador. Parked casually nearby, there could be a Ferrari LaFerrari with no barriers or restrictions around it. At first, it feels unreal, but very quickly you understand that this is normal for Monaco. One of the most important locations in this entire experience is the Casino de Monte Carlo. This is not just a famous landmark. It functions as a stage where cars are presented in front of an audience. Drivers don't simply arrive and leave. They move slowly, circle the square, and position their cars so they can be seen clearly. There is no written rule, but there is an unspoken understanding. This is where presence matters. Tourists gather with cameras ready. Content creators wait for the next rare arrival. Every car that enters the square becomes a moment, and every moment becomes content. In Monaco, your car speaks before you do. It communicates your level, your taste, and your position in a highly visible social environment. But this isn't just about showing off. It's about belonging to a very specific world. When someone drives a rare car through Monaco, they are signaling more than wealth. They are showing that they are part of a network where access matters more than money. In a place where everyone is already rich, wealth alone is no longer impressive. What replaces it is rarity, presence, and recognition. That is why the standard keeps rising. A typical luxury car is no longer enough to stand out. Even high-end supercars start to blend into the background. To truly capture attention, you need something rare, something unique, or something that almost never appears anywhere else. This is why Monaco feels different from every other city. On any given day, you might see a Pagani Huayra parked next to a Koenigsegg Jesko, while a one-off Rolls-Royce sits just meters away. These are not cars you normally see, even in the wealthiest places. But in Monaco, they appear within the same street, at the same time. This constant presence turns the entire city into a moving exhibition, and then social media amplifies everything. A single clip of a rare hypercar driving through Monaco can generate millions of views within hours. The environment, the lighting, and the density of luxury make every video feel cinematic without any production effort. This creates a powerful feedback loop. The more Monaco appears online, the more attention it receives. The more attention it receives, the more people bring their rarest cars. And the rarer the cars become, the more global interest grows. As a result, Monaco is no longer just a location. It has become a global symbol of visible luxury. The physical design of the city plays a major role in this experience. The roads are narrow, which forces cars to move slowly and remain in view for longer periods. The buildings are close together, which amplifies sound and creates an echo effect. Even a single engine rev can draw attention from an entire street. At night, the atmosphere becomes even more intense. The city lights reflect off polished surfaces, creating a dramatic visual effect. Supercars cruise slowly through the streets, not because they need to, but because visibility is part of the experience. The combination of sound, movement, and light turns the entire city into a living showcase. This is why many people describe Monaco as addictive. It is not just about seeing cars. It is about experiencing them in a way that feels continuous and immersive. Another major factor is the type of people Monaco attracts. Celebrities, athletes, and high-profile individuals are frequently present here. These are people who understand the value of visibility and influence. For them, Monaco is more than a destination. It is a platform. Arriving in a rare car becomes content. Stepping out of it becomes a moment. Driving through the streets becomes a statement that spreads across social media almost instantly. This transforms the car into something more than a possession. It becomes a tool for branding, identity, and influence. Luxury car manufacturers are fully aware of this dynamic. Even though these gatherings are not officially organized, brands benefit from the exposure. When a rare vehicle appears in Monaco, it gains global visibility without traditional advertising. In some cases, manufacturers ensure that their most exclusive models are delivered to clients who are likely to showcase them in high-visibility environments like Monaco. Because if a car appears here, it will be seen around the world. This is how Monaco shapes trends. What becomes popular in Monaco often becomes desirable globally. Collectors observe what appears on these streets, and buyers adjust their preferences accordingly. Markets respond, and demand shifts. Monaco acts as a real-time indicator of ultra-luxury culture. If you want to understand what the elite are driving today, you look at Monaco. And what you see is not just transportation, but identity in motion. Each vehicle represents a story of success, ambition, and personal taste. Together, they create a living exhibition that evolves every single day. None of this is accidental. Monaco's transformation into a supercar hub is the result of a perfectly aligned ecosystem. Wealth concentration, cultural norms, geography, and global visibility all come together to create something unique. Even the soundscape plays a role. The echo of engines bouncing off tightly packed buildings amplifies every movement. A single rev can resonate across multiple streets, making each car feel more powerful and more dramatic. This sensory effect makes the experience unforgettable. The city's compact layout also increases the intensity. Everything is close together, which means rare cars are constantly circulating within a small area. In a short period of time, you can see more hypercars than you would in months anywhere else. The Mediterranean climate adds another layer. Clear skies and scenic coastal views make it ideal for driving throughout most of the year. Owners are more likely to use their cars regularly instead of storing them away. During peak seasons, especially around major events, the intensity increases even further. The streets become crowded, the engines become louder, and the number of rare vehicles rises significantly. But even outside these peak moments, the culture remains consistent. Supercars are still present. The visibility remains. The experience continues. Security and infrastructure support this entire system. Monaco is one of the safest places in the world, which allows owners to drive extremely valuable vehicles without concern. The roads are well maintained, and services are designed for high-end lifestyles. Everything in Monaco is built to support this level of visibility. Ultimately, the transformation of Monaco streets into a supercar show is not a temporary event. It is a lifestyle that exists every single day. It is the natural result of a place where wealth is not hidden, but constantly displayed. And the cars are simply the most dynamic expression of that reality. As long as Monaco remains a global hub for the ultra-wealthy, its streets will continue to showcase one of the most extraordinary automotive spectacles on Earth. If you want to understand how the world's elite really live beyond what is shown online, make sure to subscribe, because this level of luxury does not slow down. It only becomes more extreme.